Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. We were seeing how Sri Ramakrishna explains to us the one ocean. I told you in the last class, someone asked me why there are so many gods in Hinduism. I asked back, why there are so many waves in the ocean? I worship ocean. I worship every wave. One ocean, innumerable waves. Like that, God is one ocean, and we see so many manifestations. One wave is Rama, one wave is Krishna, one wave is Yesu, Christ, one wave is Allah, one wave is, we see innumerable manifestations of one God. We worship the ocean. You worship one of the wave, seeing through a small pipe. If you see through a pinhole, you see only one hole. And through that one hole, you see only one wave. So you worship one God, means you are worshipping only one wave. We worship the whole ocean. So we have so many waves in the ocean. It is one ocean appearing as many waves. It is one God appearing as many. I can select according to my liking what I love, so that I develop intimacy and I enter into that wave to become ocean. Sri Ramakrishna is bringing us to light that God is one. People worship Him in various ways, in various names, in various forms, and various. Have no difference. What you call Vedantin call as Brahman, I call as Mother Kali. The reality is one, and we all worship in different ways. And then Sri Ramakrishna is telling what happens to the man that he, in God, he becomes immortal. We have identified with our physical body. We are living as bodies in this world. We are divine. Like an emperor, I told you in the last class, like an emperor who is king of so many kings, so many kingdoms under that empire, that vast empire, and he is dwelling in a palace and thinks himself to be the palace. He has forgotten that he is emperor. He says, not even I. He says, I am palace, I am palace. Then how it would be? Similarly, I am all pervading. I live in this body and call myself as this body. Now, by realizing God, you know, no, I am not body. I am spirit. I am divine. I am not human. When we analyze and see, we see that we are divine having human experiences. Not human having human experience. We are divine having human experience. Now we have to be divine having divine experiences. I must be able to see divine in every being, in every object. I am divine. So this spirituality means to become divine. In everyone there will be animalhood, humanhood, and divinehood. We have to destroy the animalhood in us, transcend the humanhood, go beyond the humanhood, and manifest our inner divinity. This is the whole purpose of human life. Nature has given us human body to transcend the nature and go beyond. We have to fulfill all the duties of life, bringing up children, making them perfect individuals, keeping in the world. We have duties towards the world. We have duties towards the society. We have duties towards our nation. We have duties towards the humanity. We will fulfill all the duties, joyfully do our duties. We will live joyfully and transcend the nature and go beyond before the body falls off. We all have come to this world, and one day or the other, we have to leave this world and go away. Before going, let me know who am I, where from I came into this body, where am I going to after leaving the body. This knowledge is called Atma Jnana. To attain this Atma Jnana, who you are, is the purpose of God has given us the human body. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, when you see divine everywhere, what will be your experience you see? Sinking in it, one does not die, but verily transcends death. He goes beyond death. We saw when I was in training center in Belur Math, Calcutta, I saw Swami Nirvanakanandaji Maharaj, who was a disciple and who served Brahmanandaji Maharaj till his last days. Brahmanandaji Maharaj, because of his service, pleased with his service, blessed him that you will realize God in this life, you will attain the Brahma Jnana, the supreme knowledge, and you will be Brahma Jnani, a Jivan Mukta in this world, a enlightened soul on this earth like Buddha. You will be that. And during his last days of life, during the ending of his life, I saw him when I was in training center. Daily I used to go down to him and come. One day he is not taking food. From morning he is in ecstatic state, seeing divine everywhere. He is able to see God in everything. He is simply sitting in a great joyful state. He is in bliss. He is in Ananda Sagara. Like children jump into the water and jump about and play in the water, splashing the water. How much of joy if you give them anything that they like. They say, no, I don't want now, I want to play in water. Like that he's playing in the bliss of Brahman, Ananda. Then each person is taking, Swamiji, you have not taken any food from morning. And he says, not now, not. He doesn't talk also. He just says, he is indifferent to that. He is in great joy. And slowly, he is not, from morning, he has not taken even a drop of water. He is in joy, great joy that no human can experience. The peace that transcends the human experience. The joy, bliss that transcends the human awareness. In that he is immersed. And then from morning he has not taken anything. Slowly the evening comes. He has not taken anything. He is in bliss. Just like children dipped in water. How they play and enjoy. Then evening when the conch blew of the Sandhya Arati, before the evening Arati, they blew conch. And when they hearing that sound, slowly his awareness started coming to normal condition. And he is able to talk, he is able to reply, he is able to discuss. Then they asked, Swamiji, Why are you not taking food? Take some food. They place the food in front of Maharaj. Then Maharaj asked, I am seeing one everywhere. What shall I, whom shall I feed? With what? When one is seen everywhere, who will feed whom? What will be fed to whom? The food, the eater, the enjoyer, the feeder, everything is one. When one sees one everywhere, when he sees divine everywhere, where is the question of giving or taking? There remains only one non-dual entity, the bliss absolute, Ananda Sagara. So this is what we see in of little use are the worship, oblations and sacrifice. Who will worship whom? What will be offered in worship? Everything is one. The state of immortality. If a man comes to love God, he need not trouble himself much about these activities. If you love God, if you are able to get lost in love of God, then what is the need of puja, worship, repeating the name? All this we are doing only to attain, awaken that love in us. Once the love awakens, you want to see and be in the company of God. If a man comes to love God, he need not trouble himself much about these activities. One needs a fan as long as there is no breeze. The fan may be laid aside if the southern breeze blows. Then what need is there of a fan? When the natural breeze, southern breeze is always cool. The rainy season, southwest monsoons blow. It brings rain. After the rains, only wind blows. Fine breeze reaches the North Indian regions. Continuous breeze from the south will be blowing. It is blowing over cool regions drenched in rain. Winter has set in. So this breeze, southern breeze, is cool and pleasant. And when you are inside or when there is no breeze, you'll feel little warm and you'll go on fanning yourself. In those days, hand fan was there. So they have to fan with their own hands, or somebody must fan others. So when the cool breeze starts breezing, you don't need a fan anymore. You can keep it aside. This cool breeze is the love of God. It is for the love of God that I was doing all these activities of gathering flowers, chandan, this and that for offering to God, to develop a relationship, to understand God, to come in relationship with Him. So when this is attained, love is attained. To Vidyasagar, the activities that you are engaged in are good. It is very good if you can perform them in a selfless spirit, renouncing egotism, giving up the idea that you are the doer. Through such action, one develops love and devotion to God and ultimately realizes Him. So, he has come to Vidyasagar mainly because he has great love for humanity he is unable to bear the suffering of others and is dedicating his time, energy, and all his wealth to help others, to relieve others from the suffering. So that is when I feel for others, I feel oneness with them. Because his pain is like, is paining me. He is not related to me. I do not know who he is, but I see him suffering. So I rush forth to serve him. I am seeing my own way. I am extending myself into him. I am expanding myself. I have expanded. In my state of expansion alone, I'll be able to feel the pain of others. Otherwise, when I am separate from others, he is suffering and I am seeing. I may help him, but feeling concern, feeling for them, sacrificing myself is not possible unless you expand. This expansion of heart is to be one with nature. This, he may not accept God and God realization. Often he used to feel so much for others that he used to ask, if God is there, why there is suffering? Not because of doubt, but the question, why the suffering should not be there. Nobody should suffer. That intense feeling of suffering is to ask, if God is there, why there is suffering? Now, the purpose of human life is not all these activities. Nature is taking care of every jiva. We have been blessed to serve them. Nature has given me an opportunity to serve. She has placed love in my heart to serve. If Mother Nature had not placed love in my heart to serve others, feel for others, I would have been a selfish person living for myself. So God has blessed, nature has blessed us, whoever serves others with a feeling. Whether that person understands what is nature or not is secondary. He accepts the existence of God or not, it is different. But they have participated in and through his life to utilize his pure heart for the service of others. And in and through this, if he just gives up the ego of doership, then he starts evolving spiritually. To make him evolve spiritually, all this has been provided by nature and God. To Vidyasagar's activities that you are doing, the activities that you are engaged in are good. It is very good if you can perform them in a selfless spirit. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, those who are engaged in activities, through any kind of activity, you cannot reach God. Nastya krita akrite, nastya akrita kritena, nastya krita kritena. You will not get akrita by krita. Through karma, activities, whatever activities can produce is perishable. Whatever I create, whether it is money, progeny, or name, fame, social status, whatever I acquire this through action. And whatever I acquire through action is destructible. It goes off one day. Our own bodily existence is going to die because it is a product of krita. action. Uh, the action has brought this body into existence. This body is destructible. But Atman, the real self, is not created. It exists. And in the creation it has come and manifested as Jivatman. So this is indestructible. All other things are destructible. If you perform them in spiritless, renouncing the egotism, giving up the idea that you are the doer, the doership. Through such action, one develops love and devotion to God. See how beautiful, how he is turning him to the purpose of human life. Activities is not the purpose of human life. Through these activities of compassion and love and serving others, you are expanding yourself for nature and God to participate in your life. Evolution begins. Through these activities of compassion, the activities you do for yourself, for your selfish living, becomes a karmic load. Activities you do for others' welfare makes you evolve because nature and God participate in your life and help your evolution. So and once you know, oh, I was not at all a doer. My nature was forcing me to do. My God's will was working. The whole universe is led, controlled, governed by nature and God. And I am a part of it. Nature was working through me. Nature was getting it done, all these services to me, through me. It was God's will that was making move in this world, making all these activities possible. So, as much as his ego gets attenuated, humility manifests. He sees God is the doer. He is only an instrument in the hand of God. At all times, before realization, when bound, when in ignorance I am doing this, I am doing that. It was God and nature that were doing. This understanding makes him love God. How kind you are, how loving you are, how you are taking care of all jivas, keeping a little love in the mother's heart. You are taking care of a child. You keeping a little love in the saint's heart. You are making all jivas evolve. Keeping in someone some thought of serving, you are getting the people get the benefit of his services. You are the doer. I was thinking, I am the doer. This love, gratitude, and surrender begins. Love begins. Sri Ramakrishna is telling. Again, I will read the sentence. The activities that you are engaged in are good. It is very good if you can perform them in a selfless spirit. It has to be incorporated. Renouncing egotism, giving up the idea that you are the doer. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says about this. Those who are attached to activities, you should not disturb their feelings. You must show them how to turn it towards divine. How to turn it. Being an example yourself. You have to make them do the activities. Through such action, one develops love and devotion to God and ultimately realizes Him. Here is beginning with the sentence that if man comes to love God, he need not trouble himself with other things. One needs fan only. The love is most important. Love, if you get, you have got everything. If you love God. So every activity, everything you do in your life must ultimately generate love in your heart for God. Life is short. We are going to part from this world, part from all things which we loved and possessed as mine. The more you come to love God, the less you will be inclined to perform action. When the daughter-in-law is with child, her mother-in-law gives her less work to do. As the time goes by, she is given less and less work. When the time of delivery nears, she is not allowed to do any work at all, lest it should hurt the child or cause difficulty at the time of birth. Sri Ramakrishna has been giving at all times simple examples that we see in day-to-day life. Each example a child also can understand. Any person can. If I give any quotation from scriptures, then it will be so difficult for man to understand that. But day-to-day examples, if he gives, it will be clear. It stays forever in the heart of man. So as you go, because in tamas you don't want to do much activities. You want to enjoy. You want to be, you are filled with lethargy also. You have excessive anger, lust and all that. And rest of the time, lethargy. This is tamasic nature and destructive mind. Then comes the rajasic type of people who are always running about in their activities, busy at all times in earning and enjoying. And as you move towards sattva, the tamas falls far away and rajas also is coming down. The activities also, the excessive lust, greed and all that, and the lethargy, laziness, and all this tamas has gone away. The running about activity also goes away. And as you move towards sattva, calmness dawns, peace dawns, peacefully with tranquil mind, enlightened by reality. He was in dream, he was in deep ignorance, he was in dream. Now he has come to realities of life, realities of existence. Who am I? What is this nature? What is God? The understanding, enlightened understanding. With this understanding, he becomes calm. There is a purpose. There is a divinity. There is reality beyond all these passing events of life. These are all passing show. One day life ends without any backup. I can't even know what happened during the rest of my life when I leave the body and go to the another. Everything gets arranged. These are all passing shows. Only appearance only, but no reality. Just like in TV we see television. Light alone is real. The movements, the people, the fighting, the love, everything is only a light. The name, form alone is there. The name and form and actions appear to be there. It's all moments of light. Similarly, this movement of consciousness, Chaitanya, all this for when everything is passing, like passing over the TV screen. Everything is passing like, where is your childhood days? Where are your youthful days? One by one is passing every day. One by one day is passing. So when we view the whole thing passing, 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 you will see that real is there beyond all these passing things. The screen is real. The thing that was projected on the screen was only an appearance. So we go from the unreal to the, when sattva you reach, everything comes down. Your activities come to a different type of activity which are done with heart and mind, less of the physical, bodily, because you are less matter, body is matter, mind is subtle matter, closer to the self. So all intellect, heart starts working more, giving more light and more love. So this is what we see. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, you will become, all the activities starts decreasing. Activities means not the activities of love, activities of service, but activities of my own maintenance, my own enjoyments, my own selfish ends. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.